So we're going to be using the Gallade here. And what makes Gallade stand out among the Drain Punchers is the fact that it has pretty damn good special defense, which is what's important here. Now, the highest priority here is to get rid of that ability, right? And I have already reset for allies that are not Intimidators. Now, as you'll see, I do not have a Gardevoir or a Bellibolt. Those are the two best allies that you can have here. Honestly, I think if you had Arboliva, you'll probably have trouble as well because of the amount of animations, because of its grassy terrain and Seed Sower. So I think if you have Arboliva, you should also go ahead and reset because it wastes a lot of time with animations. Alright, so the ability is gone. That's really important. Now we can go ahead and drop its stats. And those stat drops are going to last until the shield breaks. Now, as long as I don't get crit, I'll survive. If I do get crit, I'll faint, and it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure one Mystical Fire is fine here. When I first started using this, I was using two Mystical Fires, but one Mystical Fire does just fine. Gallade has really good special defense. One Mystical Fire will mitigate damage enough for Gallade to get those Swords Dances in. And what the Mystical Fires do is it's going to give us a little extra room to breathe when it cleans us so that we can get our Swords Dances and not have to worry about our health too much. We are going to have to keep an eye on our health, though. As you can see, we're still doing just fine. Let's get one more Drain Punch before that shield comes up. And we're just going to spam... Was that a crit? That looked like crit damage. Okay, maybe not. So this is my 11th time doing this. The only times I've lost were when I forgot to use Skill Swap on turn 1, which is a massive brain fart. Don't do that. If you don't Skill Swap on turn 1, you are going to die. Too many times. Did he just clean us? Why did I do a second Swords Dance? Oh well, it's fine. Now I'm going to Swords Dance. We want to make sure we can heal to full. So after the first cleanse, I like to do 2 Swords Dances. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and Terrastalize and Drain Punch. I'd rather not faint here. It's avoidable, so I'm going to avoid it. And the only way I can do that is Terrastalizing and Drain Punching. That's going to bring me probably to full health, if not very close. +2, it'll bring me to full health, or close. It'll probably be full health. Oh, it's glitching. I'm going to need to reshoot that. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah. Alright, so we should be at full health. And that one Mystical Fire means that I will be able to get that second Swords Dance, no problem. I don't know why I did the second Swords Dance earlier. You could do two Swords Dances in the first stage. It's not too big a deal. The only problem with that is you waste a little bit of time, and you charge your Tera Orb a little bit slower. You want that Tera Orb to get charged pretty early so that you have the option of Terrastalizing to get a little health, because it does put its shield up pretty early. I'm at +4. Drain Punch. But once that's... The only thing rough about the beginning is the fact that you have to Skill Swap on turn 1, which means you're taking a raw, unnerfed Blizzard and Ice Beam or Surf before, you know, you can finally get the Mystical Fire off and start mitigating damage. But since Gallade's special defense is quite good, we can deal with it just fine. Alright, so we have not been cleansed a second time. So, I don't know what I'm doing. Just continue spamming Drain Punch, and I'm going to do this until it cleans me again. Now, after the second cleanse, I will be clear from cleanses for the rest of the raid, which means I'm going to go ahead and go to +6. This raid does get a little bit close on time, so this isn't one of those things where you can just set up and then turbo through it. Though, you can turbo through a lot of this raid, which it's looking like I'm going to be able to do. But then again, I might have just jinxed it. I'm over here being superstitious and shit. Ice beam. I'm actually having a hard time figuring out how to explain this raid. I know how to explain it, but like, yeah, that's a me cleanse. No, we can't waste time because it's going to clean itself too. So this part of the raid can get a wee bit dicey. But we're still pretty close to full health, so we're doing fine. Remember, we outspeed, so as long as we're above 50% health, it's not going to kill us. Was it 50% health? Crap. Okay, I just need one more Swords Dance and then I can turbo the rest of this. And I can go over some numbers. Wait, I'm at +6, right? Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this on turbo, put it on the desk, and go over some numbers here. So, Gallade at 136, special defense, and 252 HP. 136. Okay. Now these are all crits. We're looking at a maximum of 58.5. Oh wait, that's Blizzard. I still got the other moves in here. Surf. Okay, so that's Grass Knot. We don't need to worry about Grass Knot. So we're looking at a maximum of 42.6%. No. We're looking at a maximum of 47.9% damage from either Ice Beam or Surf. Apparently they're the same base damage. So we are going to be, see, a +6 attack with Drain Punch. And with Empoleon at +2 defense. We're looking at, let's see, Drain Punch recovers 50% health, I believe, right? So we're looking at a solid more than 75% healing every turn. So it is impossible to faint. Once you get to +6 and you start turboing, it's not going to boost the stats or anything. You don't have to use Mystical Fire on the second one. Once you're at +6, after the second cleanse, you can just turbo through the rest of this. And you won't be able to turbo through a lot of the raid every time. In fact, I think there might be a less than 5% chance that you could lose this, but you'd have to feint earlier. There'd have to be a crit in the first 4 turns. So your chances of winning this raid are still pretty high. In fact, multiple times I have feinted in those first few turns and still won. So I'm not saying it doesn't get really close, but it can still go pretty badly. You can get crit a lot in this raid. What matters is whether you get crit in those first 4 turns. But even then, you can still win. As you can see, it's pretty close. But there's just enough room that even if you faint, you could still win. And if you got a turbo button, this is a great raid for you, because you will spend a lot of time on turbo. Boom. Nice. Easy enough, right? Yeah, the RN defense isn't too big an issue. We heal right through it. If this was helpful, then help me by smashing that like button and subscribing. If it wasn't, tell me why in the comments. Alright, I'm out.